Hello everyone, my name is Nancy Glynn and I'm a member of the PWN Munich chapter. I'm absolutely delighted to be able to join you virtually. It's the best next thing to being there. In a few moments I'm going to introduce you to a practice that you can use over the coming days and beyond whenever it's useful, and it will help you to marshal your creativity, your great intelligence, and all of the gifts that you bring to these few days together. Just a few words of introduction before I bring you the practice. I work with leaders developing 21st century leadership skills, and I do that in Europe, across Europe, as well as in the US and Asia. And before entering this new field, I did work for 18 years in companies, and the last 10 as a senior board level executive based in a number of different countries in Europe. Before that, I was a performing artist, a ballet soloist, and that's what brought me to Europe, originally from the US many, many years ago. The practice I'm going to introduce you to is the practice of mindfulness. Some of you might be familiar with it. It has been developed at the University of Massachusetts Medical School by John Kabat-Zinn. And this is a really, really wonderful practice to cultivate because it allows us to, with enough practice, to develop greater perceptive powers. We actually exercise our brains and can gain increased emotional regulation, as well as more creativity, greater thinking, and we in fact end up leading healthier and more satisfying lives. So I'll do this practice with you together, and we'll just do a short one, only a couple of minutes. And for that, if you'd like, I invite you, if you're sitting, to sit comfortably, but perhaps not touching the back of the chair, if that's okay for you. And ideally with your feet on the floor. If you're standing, that's also fine. You can just stay standing. And you can put your hands wherever they're comfortable for you, perhaps on your lap or on your knees. And I'm going to invite you to just a few moments to connect with your breath. But as a word of introduction, just so you know, when we start to focus on our breath, we actually will find that our mind is wandering. And that's perfectly natural. That's what minds do. At the moment that it wanders and you notice it, that's all you need to do, is notice it, and then gently bring it back to the breath. And at the moment that you bring the mind back to the focus of attention, that's actually where you start to lay the foundations of new neural networks. So that's actually where you're getting the benefit. So inviting you to just sit comfortably, 2 feet on the floor. If it's okay for you, inviting you to close your eyes. If not, you can just look at the floor in front of you. Just avoid distractions. And then at first, tuning in to the feet on the floor. I'll set a timer as we do this. Tuning into your feet on the floor, noticing the contact with the floor, perhaps any temperature you might feel. Then moving up the legs, noticing where we have contact with the chair. And then very gently moving up the back to our shoulders. Perhaps seeing if there's any tension there. Getting a sense of how we feel right at this moment. And when you're ready, beginning to sense our breath. Sensing the breath wherever it's most prominent for you. Perhaps the air moving in and out of your nostrils. Perhaps your chest moving up and down, or your diaphragm moving in and out. Just connecting to the breath. Breathing in and breathing out. And if your mind wanders, that's perfectly natural. Noticing where it's gone, and then gently and kindly bring it back to the attention on the breath. Being present in this moment with your breath. Nowhere to go, nothing to do, just being here right now. And with the sound of the harp, when you're ready, opening your eyes perhaps noticing the people around you, but also noticing how you may feel now, what sort of state of mind you're in. And whatever state of mind that is, that's fine. That's what you need right at this moment. And tapping into this practice whenever it feels right for you over the coming days will bring you great benefits. And before I leave you, I'd just like to say that imagining all of you together, I imagine ballerinas on a stage. And what that means for me is I imagine the beauty, I imagine the femininity, also for the men who are there. And I imagine also the fantastic strength that a ballerina brings. And I wish you a wonderful dance over the coming days. Thank you very much.